America, 1965. The age of progress had arrived. The nation celebrated its abundant farms and groundbreaking technological advancements. Genetic engineering was hailed as the answer to hunger, with scientists introducing crops that were brighter, tastier, and seemingly safe. But beneath this facade of success, a dark truth lay buried in classified CIA documents under the ominous name harvest control. This was no ordinary agricultural project. These seeds carried a power far beyond their intended purpose. They could alter everything they touched, even the people who consumed them. Early tests revealed shocking results. Under the microscope, the seeds mutated, growing uncontrollably. Some scientists sounded the alarm, warning of catastrophic risks. Yet their concerns were dismissed, and the project continued in absolute secrecy. The first signs of something wrong were subtle: faint green spots on skin or tiny sprouts emerging on bodies. Families overlooked these peculiarities as harmless, until the mutations became undeniable. A child with a sprout growing from their neck, or a man discovering leaves pushing through his hands. Nightmares turned real. Panic erupted as the infection spread. People fled, pursued by the infected. Humans transformed into grotesque hybrids with vines replacing limbs. These beings were no longer human. The seeds we planted began growing inside us, turning us into reflections of our consumption. The military was called to contain the outbreak, but bullets and fire proved useless. The vines regenerated, crawling relentlessly over cities. Soldiers fought valiantly, but the epidemic spiraled out of control. Scientists burned their research, yet the truth couldn't be erased. The infection maps grew redder by the day, signaling the collapse of order. Classified documents revealed the chilling details. The risk of infection had been calculated at 85%. Yet the leadership pressed forward, fully aware of the potential disaster. Warnings to halt the experiments were ignored. Those who dared to object were silenced. Reports of horrific mutations were recorded and archived, but the project advanced unabated. As the infection consumed entire regions, cities fell silent, overtaken by greenery. Laboratories were abandoned, leaving experiments to merge with the natural world. Humanity, once proud and dominant, was brought to its knees by the very seeds it had cultivated. In a last, desperate effort, the military bombed infected zones, but the vines only grew stronger, absorbing destruction and spreading further. Nature reclaimed the world, swallowing streets, buildings, and the remnants of civilization. Fire was powerless against this unstoppable force. In the shadow of this devastation lay the greatest betrayal. Part of a carefully orchestrated conspiracy. The CIA didn't just know the risks. They were fully aware of the consequences on every level, from environmental disasters to irreversible mutations. Yet despite this knowledge, they pressed on with the experiment, risking millions of lives to create the perfect weapon capable of manipulating The archives containing the evidence were destroyed or classified, and the truth was buried beneath a green veil of death. Jungles overtaking abandoned cities and shattered dreams. Humanity became the victim of its own arrogance and relentless pursuit of control over nature. The lesson that could have saved billions was buried along with civilization. Now, the Earth belonged to a new form of life, born from human greed and recklessness. What will remain of us? Only the whisper of the wind through dense thickets and a warning to those who dare to repeat our mistakes.